Occurred, the 6th of October 2017, 1600 location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, light duration, 10 to 11 minutes. Characteristics: there were lights on the object, multiple red lights, flying in groups of 2 or more, over Indianapolis on the 6th of October 2017. Multiple red lights, in groups of 2 or more, moving at steady pace from south to north, visible with naked eye, above western half of Marion County, in front of cloud cover. Speed was steady, not fast, not erratic. As they approached thicker cloud cover, we lost sight of them. Overall time span lasted about 11 minutes. They emitted no sound, no flashing or strobes. In each grouping, the individual lights did not alter position within the group, or individually speed up, slow down. Occurred, October 25, 2017, 11:30 location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, disk duration, 20 seconds. Characteristics: there were lights on the object, there were aircraft in the vicinity or aircraft chasing the object, flying at approximately 30,000 feet from Chicago O'Hare to Orlando, Florida, over the skies of Indianapolis, Indiana. My 9-year-old daughter got my attention. "What is that black thing near those clouds?" I immediately looked out the Boeing 767 port side window and noticed a black disk approximately 1,000 feet below, about the size of an automobile. No wings, no vapor trail, and it was perfectly visible because we were above the clouds with the object. Contrast of the object was perfect. My wife also saw the object and asked me, "What is that?" "That doesn't look like a plane to me." She is a seasoned flyer, over 1,000 flights, easy for business and travel. Can identify nearly all commercial aircraft. After about 20 seconds time, the object disappeared in the distance, heading in a northeast direction. I'm former Air National Guard, worked for 4 different airlines and aviation management major in college. I know the FAA doesn't allow drones at 29,000 feet, especially in Class Bravo airspace. Familiar with both Air National Guard bases in Indiana and know they do not operate this type of object the 3 of us witnessed. Daughter later told me the object had a green dot or light on top of disk.
Occurred, the 5th of May 2018, 1520 location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, sphere. Characteristics: there were aircraft in the vicinity or aircraft chasing the object, 2 oval, somewhat metallic objects at different altitudes crossing the sky underneath 2 passing jets headed in opposite directions. Working on the campus of IUPUI in Indianapolis, Indiana, on the 4th floor of the BS building looking directly west. There is always a considerable amount of airplane traffic as the Indianapolis airport is SW of this location. That day I counted 9 aircraft that were visible due to the atmospheric change that causes water vapor contrails. As I counted, 2 aircraft appear to be headed toward each other at different altitudes. I thought it would be interesting to record a video. In the video you see me raise my iPhone, clearly seeing the bell tower in the center of campus. As I point the phone to the sky, you see the reflection of the office window glass, and just after that I zoom in on the 2 jets. At the 7 to 8 seconds mark, you see the UFO cross the path below the jets from right to left at a tremendous rate of speed. At the 9 seconds mark, you see similar object cross the same path at a higher altitude. It appears smaller. I never saw the objects until I watched and slowed down the video. The objects appears oval and potentially reflective to the sunny day. The motions were great speed from right to left. In watching the video I was shocked as I didn't see the object when I first created the video. I would have never had seen them if it wasn't for the fact I wanted to see how close the 2 jets were getting. I lost sight as the objects went out of range.
Occurred, the 6th of May 2018, 22:55 location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, fireball duration, 4 minutes. Characteristics: there was an aura or haze around the object, yellow-orange fireball in southern sky seen in Indianapolis, Indiana, for 4 minutes in evening of the 5th of May 2018. On the 6th of May 2018 at 21:55 Eastern Standard Time, I was walking south in the 5200 block of Madison Avenue in Indianapolis, Indiana. Mildest haze, no clouds, visibility 8/10. I saw a yellow-orange ball of light at approximately 15 to 18 degree elevation in the southern sky. It appeared to have ignited, burned increasingly brighter for 1 minute, and slowly extinguished over the next 3 minutes. It wasn't visible at 2200 Eastern Standard Time, from my perspective. If the object had the appearance of motion, I would have thought it was a paper lantern. I estimate the distance from 6 miles to infinity.
Occurred, the 7th of April 2018, 1300 location, Indianapolis, Indiana shape, disk duration, 5 minutes characteristics. There was an aura or haze around the object 4th of July. Very large UFO near Geist Reservoir and Marion Hamilton County line. On 4th of July, 2018 in northern Indianapolis, near Fox Road and the Marion Hamilton County line and Geist Reservoir, at about 1 p.m., I walked into my wide backyard and glanced up. Small, dense white clouds were traveling in a northeastern direction beneath a beautiful blue sky. I was following them across the sky when I noticed that one very large cloud to the near northwest, the exact same color as the rest, was stationary. The big cloud was gently moving, like bubbling or slowly percolating in place, and was thinner or wispier along the edges. The smaller clouds traveled northward above and beside it. Then I focused on something I wasn't prepared to see. The big cloud was mostly concealing an enormous craft that was not moving. The first impression was of the nose of a cruise ship peeking out of a cloud. The craft's skin was smooth with no external appendages. Its color was a pale, washed-out, non-reflective gray. There was no sound. There were no lights or lamps. The vessel was close enough that it felt as though I was looking upward from the bottom of a tall cliff. The part of the craft I could observe looked like a 3-layer cake. The top tier was the smallest and had no openings. The second level was deeper and wider, rounded on the end, and had about 4 black, vertically rectangular openings or portholes that were wider at the bottom. Other openings were probably cloaked or masked by the cloud. The black openings were the most impressive part of the craft and felt ominous, like windows or observation ports. The third layer was wider still and had no openings that I could see. The bottom of this level, and whatever was below it, was concealed by the bubbling cloud. The craft was immense. I have brainstormed the event and tried to measure the vessel with imaginary football fields. It is at least 300 to 400 meters across at its widest point, assuming that it is symmetrical. I entered and exited my home twice and can vouch that this thing was there for at least 5 minutes. The second time I left the house, it was gone. For various reasons, I did not take a photograph and kept silent for over 2 years. I have repeatedly brainstormed the event in order to flesh out this description and make the most accurate possible drawing.
Occurred, September 21, 2018, 6:45 location, Indianapolis, Indiana shape, unknown duration, 25 minutes or more. Very unusual loud ongoing engine noise for 25 minutes or more in the sky. Invisible this morning, at around 6:45 am, I was awakened by what seemed to be a very loud ongoing noise in the sky. We are in a flight path, but this seemed to be not the usual airplane engine noise. It continued for at least 5 minutes, and I finally went out in my PJS and stood on the driveway at the back of our cul-de-sac. The sky was whited out and nothing could be seen visibly in the sky. The sound, however, was like massive engines that had tones, F and G above middle C, half-note measures, and underneath those tones was a low infrasound engine tone that sounded like low heavy steady wind. It was extremely loud and ongoing, and I kept wondering why no one else had come out of their homes to see what the source was. The only thing I could come up with is perhaps it was a massive cloaked mothership and or a fleet of same, flying low and slow. It kept up for at least 20 minutes and then finally started fading off, and I could hear it in the distance. It seemed to be heading southwest as far as distant sound. I'm wondering if perhaps others have heard this.
Occurred, October 23, 2018, 7:17 location, Indianapolis, Indiana shape, light duration, 10 seconds characteristics. There were lights on the object. There was an aura or haze around the object, 2 very fast lights chasing each other from east to west right above cloud line. This morning at 7:17 am, when going to warm up my car, I saw 2 UFOs chasing each other. They were white lights. They caught my eye because at first, I thought they were shooting stars, but they were way too big and low. They were flying right above the cloud line and going faster than any aircraft I've ever seen. I live by the airport, so I'm used to seeing aircrafts all night and day long. This lasted 10 seconds. They were playing over my house and reminded me of kids chasing each other. They flew in snake-like formation, not a straight line. They went from the west sky until they went so far east they disappeared from my range of sight. They appeared to be their own light source.